Hey, Ivan from the EV Stock Channel here, bringing you Q2 numbers and a fascinating comparison that I think you guys are going to enjoy. But before we begin, thank you to all the Patreons who make these episodes possible, and as always, all content is simply my opinion only and not financial advice. So, here are the delivery numbers from Q2 in a challenging quarter that featured Giga Shanghai being shut down for a significant period of time, yet Tesla has grown deliveries by 26.5% to just over 250,000. Now, Tesla doesn't provide delivery targets, but instead aims to increase production and deliveries by about 50% per year. So, a 50% increase in deliveries would mean that Tesla would need to deliver around 1.4 million by the end of 2022 to hit that approximate target. So far, throughout Q1 and 2, Tesla has only delivered a total of 546,000 vehicles, or 39% of their target, meaning to get to the 1.4 million mark, Tesla will need to deliver 857,000 vehicles in Q3 and Q4. Now, this is going to be a heavy lift, as Tesla will need to produce and deliver in Q3 and Q4 almost as many vehicles as they did in all of 2021. But Tesla does have some things going for it. Shanghai is currently being upgraded to increase production capacity. Fremont is also increasing capacity and ramping the Model S and X, while both Giga Berlin and Texas continue to ramp production, so Tesla does have the ability to increase production throughout Q3 and Q4 to hit the 50% growth rate. Not to mention, Tesla did mention in today's announcement that June of 2022 was the highest vehicle production month in Tesla's history. However, here is where things start to get interesting. Keep in mind, Tesla is around 39% of the way to reaching their target of around 50% year-over-year growth. But do you remember when Tesla was in a similar situation? In fact, a more challenging situation at the midpoint of a year not too long ago. If not, let me take you back to the year of 2020. In this case, Tesla was in a very similar situation, with both factories being shut down due to the pandemic. And at the time, there were discussions if Tesla needed to revise down their 2020 delivery target of 500,000 vehicles. And how Tesla responded and then executed back then should give us a major clue as to what Elon is likely to say during the Q2 earnings call, and how Tesla is likely to execute over the next 6 months. First off, here's a flashback from 2020, when things looked grim regarding Tesla's guidance to reach 500,000 deliveries.
So Tesla says we have the capacity installed to produce and deliver 500,000 vehicles this year. While achieving this goal has become more difficult, delivering 500,000 vehicles in 2020 remains our target. I think analysts across the street saw that as being a bit of a heavy lift.
So if Tesla was confident to hit their target back in 2020, it should be no surprise to hear Elon state that a 50% growth rate is within reach this year, considering they're in a better position. And how did 2020 turn out?
When you take a look at Tesla's total sales for all of 2020, yes, technically, did they not hit their target of 500,000 vehicles? Yes, but they only fell 450 vehicles short, coming in at 499,550 vehicles delivered last year, essentially 500,000. And again, just 450 vehicles short of the sales guidance.
And for those claiming that Elon can't hit deadlines, here's a reminder of what Elon said back in 2014.
What can we eventually expect when it comes to ramping up with the Gigafactory in place, the number of Teslas that you push off the assembly line?
Well, I feel comfortable that we'll be able to achieve at least 500,000 cars a year by 2020. Maybe we can do a bit sooner than that, but I think that's what I feel comfortable predicting.
500,000 cars by 2020.
Per year, yeah.
That is pretty interesting and impressive. I hadn't heard that number.
So this is where knowing the history and track record of a company comes in really handy. And if you want to see the documentary series that covered Tesla's big push to get to 500,000 deliveries, S&P 500 inclusion, and all the drama of the time, I'll leave the link to episode 28 in the description below. So in summary, it doesn't really matter if Tesla hits 1.4 million deliveries, as short-term headwinds and tailwinds would likely mean that Tesla will grow above 50% some years and below in others. But as long as Tesla continues to scale and make progress on their mission statement, the future will be bright. So till next time, I'll see you guys in the next episode.